At the edge of my grandma's property, in the sleepy town of Cold Spring, there has long been an abandoned beehive. Down a mostly overgrown, forgotten path, the hive has sat empty for years. So one day, in the late spring, when I was out walking the property, I was surprised to hear the familiar hum of bees buzzing in and out and all around the old hive. I called up my mom, a local beekeeper at Absurd Lengths Winery and Apiary, to come take a look. She suited up and grabbed the bee smoker, which works to calm bees by masking the chemicals they release when an intruder is detected. It was clear that a swarm was present. Bee swarms are a natural way for a colony to multiply, and oftentimes over half of a colony will fly away with the existing queen in search of a new home. This is a dodgy time for bees, and a new home must be scouted out quickly, or they run the risk of starvation. At first glance, it appeared that the bees present here were just stopping by the hive to feast on leftover honey, but after inspecting more of the hive frames, the possibility that these bees had decided this would be their new home was growing. This hive, although an ideal location for a bee colony, was not prepared for new residents. Years of disrepair meant that the hive itself was in poor shape, with frames covered in dust, dirt, and the likelihood that more than a few animals had made it their winter home. The bees were busy coming and going, bringing in pollen in little saddle packs to help feed and grow their colony. Now the challenge was preserving the colony without disturbing the bees, and letting them flourish and pollinate my parents' nearby organic garden and the native prairie grasses. The hive was abandoned in late summer mode when the colony is large and the honey stores are substantial. So early in the season, however, too much room in a hive can be detrimental to the bees' survival. So now the goal became removing the extra supers and letting the bees find their way back into the hive. After a few days in the newly concentrated hive, it was time to look for evidence of a queen bee. Without a queen, the bees won't reproduce and will eventually die off. Although it's possible for worker bees to create a queen, that process takes time, something that this colony could be running out of. A close inspection of the hive frames showed larvae, eggs, and capped brood, all signs of a laying queen and a growing colony. It's nearly impossible to clean a hive that's full of thousands of bees, so this will only be a temporary solution. A clean, new hive is already en route, and when it arrives, the bees will be gathered up and properly introduced to their new castle here on the edge of the old homestead. Taking so much time to help a single colony might seem insignificant, but with the honeybee population decimated in the last decades due to modern pesticides and other short-sighted attempts to make Big Egg even bigger, every colony that thrives makes a difference. And with a range of over 2 miles, these bees will help grow the cornfields, the flower beds, and the vegetable gardens for hundreds of our neighbors. Plus, if all goes well, we might even have a little extra honeycomb in the fall.